I think this was a good episode, a good comeback to Alola, with some good character development and some foreshadowing too. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my review for episode 37. Let's begin. This episode just made me smile so much and I really just want to gush about it. So after Yamper finds a leaf stone and Go uses it on his Execute, a Pokemon that hasn't been seen since it was caught. No, I'm not kidding. I was actually starting to wonder if Pokemon had forgotten that Go caught it. But luckily that doesn't seem to be the case, and it leads to Ash bringing up Alolan Executor and how huge it is. This is the catalyst for them to go to Alola. I love the continuity from the end of the Sun and Moon with Kukui in his truck in the airport. This time however he isn't with Burnett. Even the little head pat he gives to Ash made me smile so much. And I think the thing that sells it is Go and his uncomfortableness. Ash has to introduce Kukui and Burnett to Go, calling them his Alola family. And since Go is here for the first time, he doesn't really know how to react to everyone and everything going on around him. It souls even more as the episode goes on, but still the very realistic reaction of Go makes this moment just awesome. They go home and we finally get to see the payoff to the final shot of Sun and Moon in Baby Ray. He has Kukui's hair and Burnett's eyes. Burnett calls Ash a big brother for him, and it is just as adorable scene overall. I loved it. I saw some people were upset that Burnett had a kid while Ash hasn't aged. But I mean, why does that even matter? Then inside, Ash reunites with his champion team. All of these things in this first quarter of episode is just so heartwarming. Kukui lets them know that there is a welcome party being held for them at the school, so both Ash and Go head that way. The second quarter of the episode also had a lot of Alolan references, particularly from the first episode of the Sun and Moon anime. For example, Pyukumuku using Innards out. This time though, Raboots gets the punch and Go catches it. Then the chase for the Grubbin, something that Ash did in the first episode as well, except in this case Go doesn't meet a Bewear on the way. No, he meets the bottom of the lake, but he is quickly pulled out by Lana and Raboot is saved by Eevee. It's when he introduces himself that she finds out that Ash is on the way to the school. We also get a nice cameo from the Team Rocket Pokemon taking some food back to the cave. Then as Ash is in the forest, Rotom meets with him and lets him know that Go is already at the school. Another great reunion and a funny moment when Ash's smartphone Rotom just calls him a Rotom with no other functionality besides indexing, causing Rotom to go off. I miss this Rotom so much. It has so much personality, and now that we are back to the more traditional type of Pokédex, it feels so lifeless in comparison. Yes, the smartphone can do more things, but the Rotom is just a better character. Back in the school, we get to see Lana, Mallow and Sophocles questioning Go. They ask him about Kanto, his Rotom phone, and Ash. He feels super uncomfortable and wishes that Ash would come into school, but instead Kiawe arrives. Kiawe sees Go and I wouldn't say is confrontational, but questions Go on how strong he is. That's because as we find out later, he says that he needs to be strong enough to help Ash achieve his dream of becoming a Pokemon master. He hears about Sophocles' dream about becoming an astronaut before Lana surprises them with a letter from Lily. She is still searching for her father, but she feels like they are getting close. We get to see Gladion as well. The letter right here makes me think that the Lily subplot is going to be resolved in this Journey's anime, and I am so glad for that. While the ending to the Sun and Moon anime was amazing, one of the criticism it got its handling of Moon's story. Because it came so late into this series, the ending ended bittersweetly. This scene however makes me hopeful that we will see the end of the story. After hearing the letter, Ash says that they need to do their best and challenges Kiawe to a battle. However, Kiawe says that he wants to battle Go. The entire battle sequence, while very brief, has a lot of woven stories on it. This is not really a real battle by Kiawe, it's more a test by him to see how Go will react to adverse situations. In this case, Go stands up for himself, doesn't run away from the Z move and says that dreams are something that you have to achieve on your own. He isn't helping Ash, he's taking the future in his own hands. With a nod to his Alolan Marowak, Kiawe unleashes his Inferno Overdrive, but we see that Marowak pushed them out of the way in the last second. Kiawe tells Go to take care of Ash. That makes sense since he knows that Go is with Ash more than him now. He's passing on the responsibility. And with that, Go tells everyone his dream of catching all the Pokemon leading up to Mew. This entire thing was fantastic. The trial by fire, literally by Kiawe in order to test Go, was fantastic. And the way Go responded really helped develop his character. And it's also a subtle thing, but if you look, while everyone else was scared when Kiawe used Inferno Overdrive, Ash had a stern face. That's because as Kiawe's rival, he understands him better than the others. Cut out to our heroes at Treasure Islands and Go catches an Alolan Executor. The episode ends with him wanting to go back to Alola and Ash promising to do so. What else can I say about this episode? I loved this episode. This is one of the few reunion episodes where I didn't feel like it was really rushed. Everyone got to speak, show off a bit of their personality, their connection to Ash, and even a really well stored battle. Most importantly, they promised to go back, so we will see the Lily story come to end. This episode was just awesome. Visually, it had ton of references and storytelling continuity that any fan of Sun and Moon would love. And in terms of audio, the sound of Miyazaki being played was fantastic. It was wonderful to hear some of the old tracks to really hit that nostalgia feel. The only thing is that I wished this was a little longer, but again, that's a good thing. This was just awesome overall, and if you haven't watched it and you loved Alola like I did, go watch it right now. So with that being said, that wraps up the review for the episode 37 of the Pokemon Journeys anime. If you like the video, please press the like button, write down your thoughts in the comment section down below, and do subscribe the channel for more reviews like this. Thanks for watching and stay safe.